I don't even have to say anything.
All right. So, talking about nonsense.
You can kind of whisper to each other and people can hear, or people can't hear.
Manuel's up there listening to everything we say.
This shit was really awesome during the basketball games because people were yelling.
Oh, yeah.
And you could just hear each other talking.
It's actually pretty damn cool. I also love how stick mics, how like you could be like 17,000 people on top of you and you can hear what someone's saying to a stick mic.
Yeah, those are nice. I like when you hear the crowd in the background.
Yeah, but it's never like so much that you can't actually hear it, which is cool. I'm not live, are we? No, we haven't gone on there yet.
Oh yeah, we're good.
We're just doing an audio test right now.
But it was working. Okay, cool.
Did you hear everything?
Yeah.
Can we stationary that? There we go.
And welcome to Elk Grove, California. We're here at Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium for some track and field action as it's the CIF Sac-Joaquin section track and field Masters finals today here in Elk Grove. Alongside Jason Patterson, I'm Jared Hicks. And Jason, we have a very exciting day of, or I should say evening of track and field ahead of us.
Yeah, most definitely. It's a beautiful day out here. We've got all the kids already done with their warm-ups, and we're getting a little bit of announcements. And it looks like we're about to start the girls' 4x100 meter relay.
Let's get you to the lane assignments on the girls' 4x100 meter relay. In lane 1, it'll be Sheldon. In lane 2, Consumnes Oaks. Lane 3, the Monterey Trail Mustangs, and in lane 4 we have the Franklin Wildcats from Elk Grove, the number 1 ranked team in the section. In lane 5 we have Rodriguez out of the Monticello Empire League. They're number 2 in the section. At lane 6 it's St. Francis. Out of lane 7 we have Pittman, and out of lane 8 we have St. Mary's. So we're just getting ready for the start of the girls' 4x100 meter relay as we are getting situated here in Elk Grove for some track and field action. If you have been following along, been fortunate enough to get out here yesterday, we started our coverage, getting some highlights ready, and those will be on the website on playonsports.com. So we are just waiting for the start of the girls 4x100 meter relay to start off the track events for the day. So Jason, how do you see this one? Anything that really jumps out at you so far?
Not so far, as I've just been kind of paying attention to the warm-ups, but again, this relay is more about the handoffs of the baton and how a team works together, not as an individual kind of thing. So it's all about who's going to work good as a team and get the baton passed off nicely, like I said. And there.
Away we go as we now have the relay underway. They're getting to the first pass of the baton. Looks like it's St. Mary's in front right now as they are down the first stretch, close to 200 meters through the race. The second pass, almost a bobble there as St. Mary's now onto the third leg of the relay. They are coming down the final turn before they get into the home straight. The handoff now. Franklin looks to be in first place as they're closing. Handoff to the leadoff as Franklin comes down the track, about 50 meters to go. Franklin still in front. St. Mary's there, but it's Franklin Rodriguez. And as we get to the third place, couldn't quite see, but we will have the results momentarily for you as Franklin is your winner with a time of 47.85. Rodriguez in second with a time of 48.35. And St. Francis comes in third with a time of 48.50. In fourth place, it's St. Mary's with a 48.60 time.
That was a good way to start. Franklin took that one there in the end. It looked like you said St. Mary's had it through the first couple hundreds, and then that third one on that last turn, it looked like Franklin just started taking away with it. And that last girl on that home stretch, she just put it down and putting that motor on, and she was out there ahead of everybody. Franklin taking that one. That was nice.
So Franklin does take it. It's Franklin, Rodriguez, and then St. Francis in the top three. For those at home, we will give you the at-large times for the rest of the events. The at-large time for the girls 4x100 meter relay was a 47.64. So what that essentially means is the top three finishers will automatically qualify for the state final, but there could possibly be the fourth and fifth finishers, if they get a time better than that at-large time, Jason, then they have a shot at getting to the state final as well. So that is your 1, 2, 3 finish for the girls 4x100 meter relay. We'll get ready in just a moment for the boys 4x100 meter, as it was Franklin, Rodriguez, and St. Francis all advancing to the state final.
We'll have more live coverage of Sac-Joaquin Section Championships on Memorial Day this Monday right here on playonsports.com. We'll have live coverage of 6 baseball games from around the Sac-Joaquin section beginning Monday at 10 a.m. Join us on Memorial Day for Sac-Joaquin Section Championship Baseball, brought to you by your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com. Also, Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
Welcome back to Elk Grove as we get ready for the boys 4x100 meter final here from the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters Finals. Let's get you the lane assignments as the boys are on the track and they're getting ready. In lane 1, it's Franklin of Stockton. In lane 2, it's Oak Ridge. In lane 3, we have Buhack Colony. In lane 4, Sierra out of the Manteca area. In lane 5, we have American Canyon. In lane 6, St. Mary's. In lane 7, Granite Bay. And in lane 8, we have Rodriguez.
So a little bit of records for you. The 400-meter relay out of Johnson High has the record for 41.24, and that was set in 1986. And that was the Section Masters meet record. And the overall record for the 400 relay is set by Vallejo with a mark of 40.94, and that was in 1999. So nobody has come close to any one of those records anytime soon.
The two top-ranked teams in the section are both in today's meet, right neck and neck to each other, or in next-door lanes, I should say, in lanes 3 and 4, Buhack Colony and Sierra, respectively. The at-large time that these teams are shooting for is 41.87, and the section record set in 1999 is a 40.91. So we are getting ready for the second 4x100 meter relay. Of course, it's the boys this time, as we have the boys now getting ready on the block, and we will momentarily start this 4x100 meter relay. Let me run down the lineup for you one more time. Franklin of Stockton, Oak Ridge, Buhack Colony, Sierra, American Canyon, St. Mary's, Granite Bay, and Rodriguez. Anybody specific that you're kind of keeping your eye on for this particular 4x100 meter relay, Jason?
Well, looking at the preliminary numbers here, it looks like running the quickest preliminary was Buhack Colony out of the Merced area. So we'll see if they can't take home the W here on this one as they set the best prelim record.
Buhack Colony, of course, running that prelim time of a 42.46 as the team that they were tied with, a 42.29 from Sierra. So it should be interesting to see which one of those two, if it does come down to a neck-and-neck race, will come out on top today. So both teams this year have actually run a 42.15 as well. So
both are capable of some solid times there.
So the runners now.
That's lanes 3 and 4 for you to watch at home.
They are off to the races as they are coming around the first turn, as Buhack Colony looks like they are off to a good start as the first pass is made. American Canyon in lane 6 looks like they are coming up strong down the back stretch. Going to the second pass in the third leg of the race. Around the curve they come. Still looks like American Canyon and St. Mary's are there. Down the straightaway, looks like St. Mary's has a chance. St. Mary's in front. Sierra there as well. As we will wait to see, but it looks like St. Mary's might have pulled that one out. Granite Bay, pulled that one out. So 42.04, Jason, for Granite Bay, as they are the new section leader. Topping both Buhack Colony and Sierra, the previous two teams that were tied for the section lead.
Yeah, that was one heck of a run there by Granite Bay. Buhack Colony ended up with a 42.59. So all teams running a fairly solid run there, but 42.04 set by Granite Bay. Very nice run there. We had a 42.35 by Rodriguez, who is also moving on to the state championships, or the state finals, So couple of teams moving on, a couple teams setting good records, but not the two teams that we expected to come in the first or second.
No, not at all, as it was American Canyon and Granite Bay that were neck and neck at the end. Granite Bay pulling it out by a 100th of a second to win the boys 4x100 meter relay.
Yeah, it's definitely a solid 1 and 2 when you got them running 4.2.04 and 4.2.05. That was neck and neck indeed. That was what we like to call the old picture finish or photo finish, but very nice there. Granite Bay, hats off to them for taking that one and being the new section leaders.
Yeah, and you could see the anchor leg at the end of Granite Bay having that joy in his eyes, raised his hands up as if to just know in his heart that he won, and it was confirmed that by that 1/100th of a second, the team from Granite Bay comes and sets the new section standard for this year, finishing on top with a 4.2.04.
Finishing in third and qualifying for the state.
And we're back for the girls' 1,600-meter run here from Elk Grove, California. We are here on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports, as it is the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters Finals this Friday, May 24th from Elk Grove. Let's get you to the runners, the participants in this 1,600-meter, as we have Madeline Ockley out of Vista del Lago, the senior, posting a time of 4:57.19 as they are off and underway in the 1,600-meter final. Looks like we have a compromised start, so they're coming back. Alongside Jason Patterson, I'm Jared Hicks.
We had a runner fall down in the first 200 meters, so they're going to go ahead and let it restart.
So they will restart the race. Let's get you to the rest of these participants, as we have Faith McCall, the senior out of Enox in Modesto. Sophie Meads, the junior out of Davis, is hip 3. Miranda Myers from St. Francis is hip 4. Lainey Teaford, the third-ranked runner in the section out of Davis, is hip number 5. Lauren LaRocco, hip 6, the junior out of St. Francis. Fiona O'Keefe, hip 7, the freshman out of Davis this year. Peyton Billow, hip 8, and Mackenzie Mills, hip 4 from Vintage. Looks like we're getting ready to start the girls 1,600 meter for the second time. As Jason mentioned, one of the runners fell down in the first 200 meters, so they will restart the race. And we'll try this one again.
Yeah, they already had to reset them again, as a couple girls were getting anxious there. They had to tell them to back off, and we're going to get it started.
We are off as they are down the first 100 meters of this 1,600-meter run. Let's run down the rest of the participants as the girls are in that pack about 150 meters through this 1,600-meter run, which will be 4 laps essentially around the track. Hip 10 is Kendall Derry from Bella Vista. 11 is Madison Rawson, the junior out of St. Francis. Camila Bordeaux out of St. Francis, the sophomore, is next to her. Jenica Dodge is hip 13 out of Whitney. Michaela Flores, hip 14 out of Riverbank, as the girls are coming to the first lap, as Miranda Myers is in the lead for the moment as we're through 400 meters. Caitlin Derry out of Bella Vista is 15. Mariah Banks out of Golden Valley, 16. Hannah Hull out of Calaveras is 17. Ellie Velez out of Oak Ridge is 18. Sierra Yeager out of Vista del Lago, she's a sophomore, she is 19. Sierra Gostling, is 20. Lizzie Meredith is hip 21 out of Del Oro. We have Brooke Eberly at hip 22 out of Bella Vista, as they are coming down the backstretch through about 600 meters of this 1,600-meter run, as they are still barreling through. Jacqueline Hughes out of Franklin of Elk Grove is 23, hip 23. Savannah Love out of River City, the junior, is hip 24. Eleanor Waters out of Ripon, the freshman, is hip 25. As still in first place is Miranda Myers. Kendall Derry not too far behind her, as well as Fiona O'Keefe out of Davis, as your top 3 so far as we're through 800 meters, Jason.
Yeah, definitely already interesting. as we've been expecting Faith Macau to be up there, and I haven't seen the number 2 yet. I can't see exactly where she's at. Just trying to catch the top 3 as they ran by. To finish off the runs, we got hip 24, Savannah Love out of River City. Hip 25, Eleanor Waters out of Ripon. Hip 26 is Christy Capello out of Del Campo. Hip 27, Jillian Brown out of McClatchy. And to wrap it up, at hip 28, we have Haiti Grote out of Whitney.
So we are through with about 1,100 meters of this 1,600-meter run, girls' 1,600-meter run here from Elk Grove. This is the CIF Sac-Joaquin section Masters Finals here, track and field action on this Friday afternoon before Memorial Day. Kicking off your Memorial Day weekend. Hope you are enjoying it here and spending your time on playonsports.com. They're coming down the straightaway here right in front of us as they're concluding their third lap, as it is Kendall Derry in the lead out of Bella Vista, the freshman. She's the 5th ranked runner in the section this season out of Franklin, as they are down to their final lap. You heard that bell ring as Derry still out in front. Fiona O'Keefe, the freshman out of Davis, not too far behind. So you have 2 freshmen neck and neck right now, Jason, as we only have about 250 meters to go as they are in a dead sprint.
Yeah, they are definitely, like you said, neck and neck. Kendall Derry with a little bit of heads on her opponent, and she's coming in 5th ranked in the section, and she is looking solid coming into the last 400 meters.
Looks like Fiona O'Keefe has passed her as we get into the final 100 or so meters of this 1,600-meter run. She's barreling down the track. Or excuse me, that's Faith Macau.
I was going to say, it looks like number 2.
Yeah, it's from our view right here. I know I have my glasses on, but still not helping my view too much to differentiate a 2 or a 7, as it's Macau who crosses the finish line first, Derry second, and it looks like Sophie Meads, the sophomore out of Davis, will finish 3rd.
Yeah, so again, first place is Faith Macau, second is Kendall Derry, and third is going to be Sophie Meads. And we will be getting your times here shortly.
So 4:54.48 is the winning time for Faith Macau out of Enox of Modesto. Kendall Derry out of Bella Vista finished second with a time of 4:56.223. And Sophie Meads out of Davis finished 3rd with a time of 5:02.86. So through it all, had a little bit of vision problem on my part, but for those of you watching at home, exactly who we thought might be in the thick of things at the end, Faith Macau, coming in first place and getting off to a really good start in this Masters Finals meet today.
Well, yeah, just like you said it, she came in the favorite, went ahead and took it. She's now got the 1,600 out of the way. She's looking to get the win for the 800. If she does that, she'll be the first girl to win both since 2004.
And what an accomplishment that would be if she is able to pull that off. Of course, the 800-meter will be coming later today. That start time for the girls' 800-meter is scheduled to start at 7:25 for those of you watching at home, wondering when you might be able to see something potentially historic happen in the Sac-Joaquin section. But thank you for tuning in to PlayOnSports.com, kicking off your Memorial Day weekend with us. We'll take a quick break for just a few minutes and be back momentarily with the boys' 1,600-meter final. And we're back getting ready for the boys' 1,600-meter run here from Elk Grove. It's the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters Finals here on this Memorial Day weekend at Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium. I'm Jared Hicks alongside Jason Patterson as we are getting ready for the boys' 1,600-meter. Let's run down some of the participants in this 1,600-meter. At hip 1, it's Trent Brendel. Hip 2, it's Garrett Migliosi out of Nevada Union. Brendel is out of Granite Bay. John Harvath is hip 3, the senior out of Wood Creek. George Miao, out of Rockland. He is a junior. He's wearing hip 4 as they are off and getting ready to run. Daniel Gal, the second-ranked runner in the section, is out of Bella Vista. Jack Plogue, out of Elk Grove. Jacob Zufeld is hip 7. As the boys are through about 150 meters of this 1,600-meter run. Patrick Jaggerson out of Del Campo is hip 8. Jack Scranton out of Davis, hip 9. And Brian, if I could get it out, Brian Sargent out of Bella Vista is hip 10. The runners through about 300 meters as they're coming down this first straightaway, or their second straightaway, I should say, and getting ready to complete their first lap. In the front of the pack so far is John Horvath out of Wood Creek. He's the 5th-ranked runner in the section.
Looks like it was Trent Brendel in second place, too, so he's your first-ranked section leader right now, and he's sitting there nicely in second place through the first 400 meters, pretty much right where you want to be. You don't want to break too early on this 16-meter run or 1,600-meter run, so looking nice is Trent Brendel so far.
Yeah, so through about 500 meters, we have Horvath out in front, Brendel not too far behind. That's the one you want to keep an eye on, the number 1 ranked runner in the section, as Jason mentioned. To get to some of the rest of the runners, Jasper Laka is hip 11 out of Davis. Noah Heath, hip 12 out of Modesto, as they are coming down the stretch to get to about 700 meters, and in about another 10 seconds or so, they will be through this first lap, or this second lap, I should say, halfway through this 1,600-meter run, as it's still Horvath in first place, as he is leading the pack and setting the pace as we are now halfway through this 1,600-meter run.
Yeah, your top 4 runners right now, John Horvath, Trent Brendel, Jacob Zufeld, and Jack Scranton. So those are your 1, 2, 3, 4 as it's halfway through this thing.
And all those runners, of course, senior runners, the leading the pack, so a lot of experience out here for these runners, as it still appears to be that Horvath in the mix, but it looks like Trent Brendel is coming to the front of the pack and not too far behind. So the lead pack starting to separate itself as we get to about 1,100 meters, as the runners now coming down the straightaway, getting ready to complete their third lap. It's Jack Scranton out of Davis in the lead, and Philip Herrera out of Manteca, the senior, that is not too far behind him. Herrera, has passed him as we are on the final lap now, Jason, and there's about 300 meters to go in this 1,600-meter run.
Yeah, there's already been a few lead changes with that lead pack right there as they are fighting neck to neck. It's getting interesting coming around here, about to hit the last turn.
So Scranton, Herrera.
Here comes Trent Brendel.
Brendel coming up now, making this late surge. As you mentioned earlier, Jason, he was pacing himself, and now he has a ton of energy to burn, and he is doing just that these last 200 meters.
Yeah, he found his rocket fuel for breakfast, and he has turned it on there at the end.
Trent Brendel has turned on the jet packs as we have 50 meters to go, and Trent Brendel is going to run away with this one and win the 1,600-meter run, boys 1,600-meter run, and leave a trail of dust behind. What a finish, those last 200, 250 meters by Trent Brendel out of Granite Bay, the number one runner this season in the section. Fastest time this year in the section, 4:13.94, beating his previous best of 4:14.37. That was a divisional time in the SFL. Wow. So Jacob Sufelt out of Whitney finished second with a time of 4:15.79, and Garrett Migliosi out of Nevada Union at 4:15.80 finished in third place. Fourth place, Jack Scranton, who was leading for a good portion of this run, finished with a time of 4:15.94, and he qualifies for the state boys 1,600-meter run with an at-large time that we just mentioned. So congratulations to those four gentlemen for all making it to the state final.
That was one heck of a race. Trent Brendel coming in as your favorite. So far, a couple of the favorites in both boys and girls have been able to take it. He was sitting there pacing himself, sitting in that top three throughout the whole thing. He hit that last about 200, I'd say 150 meters, and just turned on the jets and started putting himself out in front, and he ended up taking that one by a nice, good margin. Hats off to him. A great run.
I'll say this, too, because I know you mentioned it earlier. He was in second, third place. He kept himself in that lead pack, but didn't exert himself too much. But, boy, Jason, when he got to about 250 meters or 200 meters, did he turn on the jet packs or what?
Yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous. He turned on something, and he had smoke coming off his feet as he turned on that last little corner there.
So congratulations to Trent Brendel, the senior out of Granite Bay, beating his own time for a section, for the best time in the section this season. The number one runner in the section comes away on top, as it was Brendel, Zufelt, Migliosi, and Scranton coming in fourth but qualifying for the state final in the boys' 1,600-meter run. The hurdles getting set up, and we will come back in just a moment with the girls' 100-meter hurdles. Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com's coverage of the CIF Sac-Joaquin section Masters Track and Field Finals here from Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium in Elk Grove, California. Alongside Jason Patterson, I'm Jared Hicks. We'd like to thank you for tuning in and joining us here on your Memorial Day weekend on PlayOnSports.com. We're getting you ready for the girls 100-meter hurdles, as let's get you the lane assignments for these girls 100-meter hurdles here from Elk Grove. In lane 1, it is Melissa Mahoney, the senior out of Woodland. In lane 2, it's Lexi Tubbs out of Modesto Christian. And in lane 3, we have quite a competitor in the junior out of Monterey Trail, Sierra Levy, Jason.
Yeah, coming into this one, we've got her ranked 20th in the entire state. So, as you can imagine, how many girls probably run track in the state of California? She's in the top 20 in the entire state.
In lane 4, we have one of two dynamic runners out of Vacaville, the junior Patriana Patterson. And in lane 5, we have Daria Cook. Like I said, both of those out of the same high school, both of them juniors, both out of Vacaville. But it's Perry and Cook in lanes 4 and 5.
Yeah, we've got Patriana Perry coming in ranked 5th in the entire state, and right behind her, right on her back, is Daria Cook, both, like you said, out of Vacaville, both juniors, and both ranked 5th and 6th in the entire state of California. So that's one heck of a team they've got coming out of Vacaville.
In lane 6, we have another runner out of Vacaville, a year younger, the sophomore Nia Vance in lane 6. In lane 7, Michaela Webb out of Valley. She's a junior. And in lane 8, we have Fian Olusala, the senior out of Cosumnes Oaks. So just to run down the assignments again, Mahoney, Tubbs, Levy, Perry, Cook, Vance, Webb, and Olusala. So we will get you prepared as the girls are at the blocks right now, just waiting for the cue to set up and get ready for this girls 100-meter hurdle and try to punch their ticket to the CIF state final. Anybody so far? I know you see obviously Perry and Cook, but do you see anybody else, or are those the two that you're going to be focused on to see what they bring this year, Jason, or this event, Jason, to see who comes out on top?
Anytime you have two girls from the same school ranked in the top 10 in the entire state, you're definitely going to be looking for them. But their sophomore female friend out of Vacaville as well is not too far behind them with a prelim time of 14.76. So she's the fourth one on the prelims out of all the girls. So I definitely look out for her as well. The girl that came in third would be Sierra Levy out of Monterey Trail. So she's a name to look out for. But I think this could be just the favorite taking it. I'm going to vote for Patrina Perry to take this one.
So Patriana Perry and lane 4 is the one that Jason will keep his eye on. Obviously, for those of you at home, we have 3 competitors ranked nationally ranked in the state nationally, as I said before, as Levy 20th ranked, Perry 5th, and Cook 6th. That's lanes 3, 4, and 5 respectively. And just to put it in another bit of perspective, both Cook and Perry both made the state final season ago. So they're looking to both repeat, and then once they get there, punch their ticket to a state championship in this girls' 100-meter final. Still waiting for the go-ahead as the girls all down there right behind their blocks waiting for the cue as we have this final to get ready to start momentarily.
I definitely think any time we do the hurdle races, they're the most interesting ones to watch, as you see a lot of athleticism from these athletes. They have to do quick running and jumping at the same time, so it makes it a little bit more interesting.
Of course, it's a gorgeous day out here in the Sacramento metro area. A temperature of 75. It was a high of 79 today, but about 75 degrees right now with a little bit of a breeze coming in from, it feels like it's coming in from the west. So the runners should not be impeded too badly, as they don't have anything that will be either wind assisted from directly behind them or something that could hamper them from coming from a direct win into their face. The girls' 100-meter hurdles, just for those wondering at home, the at-large time is a 14.26. The Masters record, which was established in 2011 by Daja Pugh, was a 13.90, and the same runner last season took the section record with a 13.69. So the girls getting ready. They're getting ready to get down and set up on the blocks for this girls' 100-meter hurdle as we are getting set to go. Thank you for tuning in here on PlayOnSports.com as this 100-meter hurdle will start momentarily. So we're getting ready again for this 100-meter hurdle final. Daja Pugh, who's now up at Washington, the last 4 years has won this 100-meter hurdle. The last 3 years has won the 100-meter hurdle and won the 300-meter the last 4 years. So this will be the first time that we will have a new winner. And they're off. Fair start as they are down the track. It's Cook. It looks like she's out in front. Cook. That is down. Cook and Perry neck and neck as they are over the last hurdle, and it is Cook and Perry that will finish 1-2, and both advance, keeping the strong showing from Vacaville as they did the year before, as Cook and Perry looks like will finish 1-2 in this girls' 100-meter hurdle. So Daria Cook out of Vacaville finished first with a new meet record, actually, of a 13.83, beating the former time of Daja Pugh, who we mentioned before for this Sac-Joaquin section Masters meet, of 13.90, Jason. Yeah. What a fast time.
That was one heck of a run by Daria Cook, who took her buddy there, Patriana Perry, as well, who came in second. But Cook was just, she had a good one right out the blocks, and she was hitting those hurdles nicely, and she just kept going farther and farther ahead of the competition as the hurdles kept coming.
So we were expecting a fast time, but definitely are both shocked and welcomed that Daria Cook breaking the meet record with a 13.83 time to take first place in this girls' 100-meter hurdle. Patriana Perry finished second with a time of 13.99, and finishing third is Sierra Levy out of Monterey Trail with a time of 14.41. But it's Daria Cook who finishes on top and sets the new standard for the Masters meet as she finishes 7/10 of a second faster, or 1.7 faster than. Let's try that again.
0.17.
0.17 seconds faster than Daja Pugh.
It'd be a little. It's like 16, but that's all right.
Number 9 in the section from Sierra High.
Back here from Elk Grove, it's the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters meet as the boys 110-meter high hurdles are getting set to get underway. Let's get you these lane assignments. In lane 1, it is Malik Dumitz out of River City. In lane 2, James Warwick out of Modesto Christian. Lane 3, Austin Carter out of Folsom. And in lane 9, impressive runner in Andre Lindsay out of Stagg in Stockton.
Yeah, we've got him coming in first in the section and ninth in the entire state of California.
So out of lane 5, it's Alonzo Easter out of Lincoln of Stockton. And lane 6, Dallas Hooford out of Atwater. In lane 7, it's Dwayne Lee out of Bear Creek. And rounding out the runners in lane 8, Nicholas Valdez out of Sierra. So it's Dumitz, Warwick, Carter, Lindsay, Easter, Hooford, Lee, and Valdez.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of seeing Malik Dumetz play football for River City. The very first game I covered, he was, I believe, their running back. So, and he was pretty quick in that game too. So, it should be interesting to see how all these kids runs. But obviously, the name to look out for is running in your fourth lane, Andre Lindsay, first in the section, ninth in the state, with a prelim time of 14.28. So, he's definitely got the best prelim score by about 0.70 hundredths of a second. So he's looking pretty good by quite a bit.
The at-large time to keep an eye on, folks, is a 14.40, and the section and masters meet times. Let's get you the masters record by Lonzel Hill in 1983. That's how long it's been since someone's set the record here at the Sac-Joaquin Section Masters is a time of 13.94. The section record set in 1999 by Rico Hatter is a 13.86. So the runners still behind the blocks getting warmed up for this, the final that we are waiting for, the boys 110-meter high hurdles here from Elk Grove.
A little bit of a little piece of info for you. Here in high school, the high hurdles are set at 39 inches, but once they go on up to the college level, they raise them up to about 42 inches for college. So they end up having to jump about 3 extra inches high once they go into the college level for the high hurdles.
So it's interesting adjustment how you have the one height in high school and then to have to readjust once you get to the next level after you potentially do well enough in terms of time and get recruited to go to a whole new height, Jason. That's got to be something that takes time for some of these runners that will eventually go on to the next level.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime you add a couple extra inches to jump while you're trying to move forward at a quick speed, it's going to change your entire game plan up. But nonetheless, these kids are athletic, and I'm sure they have no problem and welcome the challenge for the couple extra inches.
So it's Dumetz, Warwick, Carter in lanes 1 through 3, and Lindsay, Easter, Hooford, Lee, and Valdez in lanes 4 through 8. We are getting ready for the start as the boys are now getting on the blocks for the 110-meter high hurdles. Top 3 will automatically qualify for the CIF state final. And if anyone in 4th or 5th has a fast enough qualifying time, they could potentially go as well. And they're away. Fair start. As down the middle, it is Lindsay who's in the lead pack. Lindsay still in the lead pack. Warwick not too hard from behind. Lindsay pulling away, and Lindsay. It's Andre Lindsay, the one Jason told you to look out for, out of lane 4, out of Stagg High School, who gets the win in this boys' 110-meter high hurdle.
Yeah, he pretty much had that one the whole time. He was quick out the blocks, and he was looking beautiful the entire way. He was able to pull that out.
So Andre Lindsay with a winning time of 13.96. That is a seasonal best time for him. In second, it's James Warwick with a time of 14.34. And Alonzo Easter out of Lincoln of Stockton, who comes in third place with a time of 14.58.
So that was one heck of a time there by Andre Lindsay.
The fastest time in the state of California this year.
As that's the fastest time in the state of California this year for the boys 110 high hurdles. That's Andre Lindsay with a time of 13.96, only 2/100ths of a second away from getting that 1983 Masters record we were talking about, as that was a 13.94 time.
Yes, set by Lonzel Hill, as he said, some 30 years ago, that record that Andre Lindsay almost took down today. But James Warwick and Alonzo Easter will both qualify as well for the state final. But it's Andre Lindsay with a time of 13.96 that will proudly wear that Stag High School uniform out of Stockton in the state final with the best time in the state this season. back to Elk Grove in this CIF Sac-Joaquin section Masters final as we're getting ready for the girls 400-meter dash. Let's get you the lane assignments. In lane 1, it's Caprina Papillon out of Vista del Lago. In lane 2, it's Joy Weems out of Del Campo. In lane 3, it is Brandy Coward out of Buhack Colony. And in lane 4, it is the talented and heavy favorite Nia Dorner out of Cordova High.
Yeah, she is ranked numero uno in the state. So head honcho there is Nia Dorner coming into this one.
Ellie Eaton in lane 5 out of Davis. Lauren Hill in lane 6 out of Rodriguez. It's Carlandra Woolbright out of Edison in lane 7 and Annie Art in lane 8.
So another number to look at again, and lane 6, Lauren Reed, who's ranked 14th in the state out of Rodriguez. So we've got a 14th state ranking in Lauren Reed and a number 1 state ranking at Ania Dorner. So those both lane 4 and lane 6 respectively are a couple lanes to watch out for.
So they are away right now, about just close to 200 meters through this girls 400-meter dash. As the girls are away, down the final stretch they go, as Dorner is pulling away, to say the least. Dorner just kind of getting there to the end. We'll see what the time will be, but Dorner by far and away the winner, as we have a tumble at the end, but Dorner coming out on top with a time of 54.05.
That's a pretty solid run, as she posted in her prelims a 54.60. So she went ahead and got that one down quite a bit.
So Ellie Eaton finished second out of Davis. She finished with a time of 55.54. And Brandy Coward out of Buhack Colony finished with a time of 56 flat. So those are your three, Dorner, Eaton, and Coward. Of course, in lane 8, Arndt was a scratch, so she did not run today. But Dorner, the favorite, finishing with a time that just blew everybody out of the water, and to be honest, Jason, that's exactly what we expected.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the preliminary score or preliminary time, she was about 2 seconds ahead of everybody else in the field. So she did exactly what she was supposed to do. Posted a nice, solid time, 54.05. So congratulations to her, as she's going to go ahead and move on to the state championship or the state finals.
So it's Nia Dorner, the number 1 state runner in the number 1 state 400-meter girls runner in the state, finishing in first place and doing it in flashy style of this girls 400-meter hurdle. Stay tuned as we will get you set for this boys 400-meter hurdle right here on your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here today? Tell your school to sign up for the Play on Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. We'll have more live coverage of Sac-Joaquin Section Championships on Memorial Day this Monday right here on playonsports.com. We'll have live coverage of 6 baseball games from around the Sac-Joaquin section beginning Monday at 10 a.m. Join us on Memorial Day for Sac-Joaquin Section Championship Baseball, brought to you by your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
So we have just concluded the girls 400-meter hurdle. In just a few moments, we will be back with the boys 400-meter hurdle right here on playonsports.com. Welcome back to Elk Grove and this CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters meet. We're getting ready for the boys 400-meter dash, not hurdles, as I've been confusing the two events, it seems like, the past couple of minutes. But it is indeed the 400-meter dash, not the hurdles. There's nothing wrong with your computer screen or your mind. It's clearly just my mouth that's been getting me into a bit of a predicament. But alongside Jason Patterson, I'm Jared Hicks, as we are getting ready for this boys 400-meter dash. Let's get you the lane assignments. Armando Martinez out of Elk Grove High School, right here, the hometown kid, in lane 1. Elijah Whitmore out of Cosumnes Oaks in lane 2. Cameron Stone, the sophomore out of Sheldon, in lane 3. In lane 4, it's Mark Baker out of Rio Americano. Derek Vandestreek out of Kimball, in lane 5. Jonathan Tuttle out of Del Oro in lane 6. In lane 7, it's Bryce Houston out of Rodriguez. And in lane 8, it is Devin Hunter out of Sacramento High School.
So a little bit of a name to look out for sitting in lane 7 is going to be Bryce Houston. We've got coming into this one ranked 12th in the state. So definitely like a guy to watch out for. He was not the one who posted the fastest preliminary time, as that one is going to go to Mark Baker at a Rio Americano, who posted a 49.06 preliminary time. So that's going to be in lane 4 for Mark Baker.
The at-large time to qualify for the state meet is a 48.59, and just to give you a couple records to look out for, the meet record was set in 1997 by Eddie Levine at 46.63. He also set the section record at 46.53 that same year. The runners are now taking their mark as we get ready for this boys 400-meter dash. Set, and they're off. Looks like a fair start as the boys are getting to that first 100-meter out of the curve, as looks like it's Vandestreek from Kimball in lane 5 off to a good start. Not too far behind is Mark Baker out of Rio Americano.
Running well in lane 6, but Cameron Stone in lane 3 looks like your leader.
So they're coming around the final turn into the home stretch. Stone in lane 3 looks to be doing well. We're in the final 100 meters as Stone down the line, and it looks like it will be Stone, Baker, and Whitmore, looked like it was Houston out of Rodriguez, the one that you told us to look out for, Jason, that blew everyone away. 47:37 with the time as he wins. It's Cameron Stone with 48:50 finishing second, and Mark Baker finishing at 48.56. So those are your top 3 finishes. Houston, Stone, Baker going 1, 2, 3 in this boys 400-meter hurdle or 400-meter dash.
Yeah, that was one heck of a run there by Bryce Houston. He was not the guy leading at the start, but he was able to pull it away there at the end and won by a nice little margin, posting a time of 47.37. So hats off to him and all 3 guys advancing on to the state finals.
So Houston blowing everybody away with that impressive run in this boys 400-meter dash, as he will lead the way with Baker and Stone, who finished in 3rd and 2nd respectively, as they will get ready for the state meet, qualifying all with those top 3 finishes. But it's Bryce Houston out of Rodriguez that led the pack and won this boys 400-meter dash on PlayOnSports.com. Welcome back to Elk Grove. Thank you for tuning in to PlayOnSports.com as we're getting ready for the final in the girls' 100-meter dash. Let's get you these lane assignments. In lane 1, it is Shanice Hendricks, the senior out of Roseville. In lane 2, Chantel Williams, the sophomore out of St. Mary's of Stockton. In lane 3, it is Liesel Shearhall out of Rockland. In lane 4, it's Matsumi McGee out of Consumnes Oaks. In lane 5, out of Florin, the senior is Deja Joe Smith. In lane 6, it is Chinyeri DK out of Franklin of Elk Grove. She is a sophomore. In lane 7, it is Ronika Robinson out of Edison of Stockton. And in lane 8, out of Oakdale, the senior, it's Michi Brown.
So the lane to look out for in this one is lane number 4, tied 17th in the state, is going to be Natsumi McGee. She's one of the 2 girls that posted the fastest preliminary times at 12.34. The other girl to post that same exact preliminary time is going to be Deja Joe Smith, and she's going to be in lane 5. So 4 and 5 are your fastest 2 preliminary times.
The at-large time to look out for is 11.89. The section record is 11.58, set in 2004 by Jennifer Nash out of Merrill West High School. And this meet record was set in 1983 by Monica Taylor of an 11.59. The runners have taken their marks, and we are almost ready to start this girls' 100-meter dash. So looks like a bit of a jump there. In lane 8, Michi Brown was actually scratched. She will not participate in this 100-meter dash. So the only lanes to focus on will be 1 through 7. But again, the lineup for this girls' 100-meter dash in lanes 1 through 7, Hendricks, Williams, Sherrill, McGee, Joe Smith, DK, Robinson. So another thing to keep in mind, obviously you see sometimes in other competitions the 2 false start and you're out. In high school, 1 false start and you are disqualified. So that's something for you folks at home to keep in mind as we get ready for this girls' 100-meter hurdle.
Meter dash.
Meter dash. I keep saying hurdle. I don't know why. I don't know what my infatuation with the word hurdle is. But they're set. And we had another move again. So we will see. Wasn't quite sure if someone jumped or not or if something else happened, but we will find out momentarily if someone got scratched from this 100-meter dash. Still conferring down on the track. Looks like they're going to do it again. Can't see if anybody has been disqualified, but doesn't appear to be the case.
I still see seven ladies ready to go.
Still see 7 on the track, as Jason mentioned, so they will take their marks again, these 7 runners, and for the 3rd time, hopefully 3rd time's the charm for starting and finishing this 100-meter dash from Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium here at the Masters meet. And they're off, a fair start as they are down the track. In lane 4, the runner is down, and as we see the finish, it looked like it potentially was, couldn't tell if it was DK or
was all pretty close there.
Potentially, yeah, McGee, they were all bunched up. It's so hard to tell. We'll have to figure out. It was actually Deja Joe Smith that finished in first place out of Florin with a time of 12.27. Chinyeri DK out of Franklin of Elk Grove finished second with a time of 12.33. And Matsumi McGee, the young lady out of Cosumnes Oaks that had our spotlight, finished in third place with a time of 12.36. So those are going to be your 3 automatic qualifiers for the state meet in this girls' 100-meter dash.
Yeah, that really was a tight little pack there. Very, very tight. But again, hats off to Deja Joe Smith, who's going to take the number 1 at 12.27. And the other 2 to follow are going to be Chinyere Dike out of Franklin and Natsumi McGee out of Cosumnes Oaks.
So 5, 6, 4 were the lane assignments that finished 1, 2, 3, as it's Deja Joe Smith out of Florin High School, the senior, that wins the girls' 100-meter dash here at the Sac-Joaquin Section Masters. Had a brief break, but we're back as they are churning these events out, not wasting any bit of time between the girls and the boys 100-meter hurdle, or 100-yard dash, 100-meter dash, excuse me. I'm just all confused today, so bear with me, folks. I'm Jared Hicks if you want to send any complaints to the complaint department, alongside with Jason Peterson. Of course, the camera operator upstairs, Emmanuel Chen, doing all the things that you see with your video work, and a special thanks to Nathan Schimmel, our producer and on-site engineer, who's over there keeping everything in line and reminding me that, no, we are not in the hurdle events anymore. So let's get you to the lane assignments for this boys 100-meter dash. In lane 1, it's Javante Norman out of St. Mary's. In lane 2, it is Aaron Short out of Rodriguez. Lane 3, Robert Ellis out of Antelope High School. In lane 4, we have a special one to look out for in Austin Mitch. In lane 5, it's Emmanuel Elijah out of Sierra. In lane 6, it is John McDonald out of Weston Ranch. Nate Jones in lane 7 out of Tracy, and Chandler Jefferson in lane 8 out of Buhack Colony.
So coming into this one, Austin Mitch is ranked 7th in the state, and he missed the state finals by 1/100th of a second last year. And they're off.
And they're off as it is the runner in lane 3. It looked like Ellis, who was in the lead. Let's see if he finished out first. But we thought Mitch was going to be the one that would come out with the win, but we'll find out. It looked like it was Robert Ellis. We'll find out momentarily. No, it was Austin Mitch who pulled it out at the end, out of Jesuit with a time of 10.76. Robert Ellis just got eked out at the end with a time of 10.82, and John McDonald out of Weston Ranch at a time of 10.87. So those are your 3 automatic qualifiers. Emmanuel Elijah out of Sierra in lane 5 was scratched. So the winner that we thought, Jason, Austin Mitch out of Jesuit, putting it on at the end, those last 15, 20 meters really put on the burn.
Well, yeah, talking to a couple of guys up here in the press box beforehand, they were telling me that Austin Mitch is the overall guy to look out through in this entire track meet. So he was did not fail as he comes in first place in the boys 100-meter dash. So hats off to him with a time of 10.76. So Jesuit taking this one in the boys 100-meter dash.
So Austin Mitch leading the way as it's Mitch, Ellis, McDonald, all headed to the state final. But Austin Mitch, the Jesuit Marauder, leading the way here at the Sac-Joaquin section Masters Final. You're listening to your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com. Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com's continuing coverage of the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters Final here from Elk Grove, California. We're at Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium on the campus of Elk Grove High School alongside Jason Patterson. I'm Jared Hicks. Thank you for tuning in to your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. We are through 10 events on the track here, getting ready for the 11th event of the afternoon, and it will be the girls' 800-meter run. As let's get you the participants, starting with hip number 1. Faith McCall is wearing that hip number 1 out of Enox in Modesto. Of course, McCall earlier today won the 1,600-meter. It is Hannah Sumner out of Davis High School, hip number 2. Ashley Kittle out of Wood Creek, hip 3. Hip 4 is Candace Compton, the senior out of El Camino. Lainey Teaford out of Davis, hip 5. Anastasia Carnassi, is the freshman out of Amador, hip 6. Christy Capello, hip 7, out of Del Campo. She's also a freshman. Janine Mary McPherson, hip 8, out of Davis. Ashley Feldkamp out of Bella Vista, the senior, is hip 9. Gabriella Nathan Funk out of Armio High School is hip 10, as they are off in this 800-meter run for the girls. Nicole Caton is hip 11, the freshman out of St. Mary's, and rounding out the runners is hip 12, Dominique Tristant, out of Del Oro. So we are about 150 meters or so through this 800-meter girls run here at the Masters Final. Of course, the top 3 finishers will automatically qualify for the CIF California State Final in this girls 800-meter run.
Again, the name to look out for, Faith McCow, who's the hip number 1. She's coming in this one 14th in the state, but she is looking for this win. She will have won the 800 and the 1600 if she can take this one, and she, again, will be the first girl to do that since 2004.
So McCow so far in second place in that front pack, as right now Ashley Kittle out of Wood Creek appears to be leading the pack for the moment, but they're coming around that first turn of this second and final lap of this girls' 800-meter run, as Faith McCow pulling ahead now and looking to position herself potentially to finish on top again.
Yeah, potential history in the making right here. Being, the first girl to win the 800 and the 1600 since 2004. So, that's 9 years. So coming up on almost 10 years since a girl has done that.
The at-large time to look out for is a 2:12.10 as Macau, around the final turn, she comes and is now into the final 100 meters of this 800-meter run. Not too far behind her is Sumner, as Sumner and Kittle are not, or Kittle is not too far behind, but it will be Faith Macau who is coming to the finish line and will win this girls' 800-meter run. She makes a little bit of history in the process.
Yeah, that is one heck of a day for Faith Macau. As again, she's the winner of your girls' 800-meter run and also your girls' 1,600-meter run. So she's taken home both of them. And again, the first girl to make that happen in the last 9 years.
So Macau winning the event with a time of 2:13.78 for the first place finish, the young lady out of Enox in her senior season. The second place finisher, Hannah Sumner out of Davis, finished with a time of 2:15.16, and Candace Compton finished in third place, the runner out of El Camino, with a time of 2:15.26. But a big congratulations again to Faith Macau, as she did a little bit of history today, doing the double by winning both the girls' 1,600-meter and girls' 1,800-meter runs here at the Sac-Joaquin Section Masters. Back here in Elk Grove, as the third, second, and first place finishers, as well as the fourth place finisher for the girls' 800-meter run, are on the medal stand getting presented with their medals for finishing, and obviously the top 3 advancing to the CIF state final alongside Jason Patterson. I'm Jared Hicks, as we are getting ready now for the boys' 800-meter run. The section record is held by James Levine with a time of 1:48.85. That record was set in 1997. Levine also holds the meet record with a time of 1:51.37. But let's get you the participants in this boys' 800-meter run. Hip 1 is Paul Moore, the senior out of Davis. Hip 2 is David French out of Nevada Union. Hip 3 is Ben Garcia out of Pleasant Grove. Out of Atwater, Hip 4 is Abraham Alvarado. Arturo Sotomayor is Hip 5. He's a sophomore out of Roseville. Blake Croft, Hip 6, the sophomore out of Davis. Kyle Somerville out of Vanden, the senior. He's going to wear hip number 7. Hip 8 is Logan Stahl out of Roseville. Eric Strohmeyer is hip number 9. He's a junior out of Woodland. Out of Benicia, it's hip 10, and Adrian Coleman, he's a senior. Victor Dorofeoff, excuse me for the pronunciation, is out of Plasha at hip 11, and Gonzalo Morales rounds out the runners at hip 12 in Dixon.
So the number to look out for is going to be hip number 2, David French, who's coming in ranked 20th in the state. So he's definitely the hip to look out for. He's also coming in with the second fastest preliminary run, as it's going to be Abraham Alvarado out of Atwater, the senior, in hip number 4, who's going to post the best preliminary run at 1:55.90.
Yeah, Paul Moore as well out of Davis. He's hip number 1. He also had a similar preliminary time in the division with the same 1:55.90. So look out for them as well. But David French, ranked 20th in the state out of Nevada Union, as Jason mentioned, the favorite to come out on top in this boys' 800-meter run. The boys are lined up after getting warmed up. A few of them still jumping around trying to get loose, as we are moments away from the start of this boys' 800-meter run in what has been a very eventful day so far on the track, Jason, for these runners in this Sac-Joaquin section Masters final.
Yeah, indeed. We've seen a couple historic events, a couple record breaks. So definitely an interesting track meet so far. Your at-large time for your boys' 800-meter run is going to be a 1 minute 52 seconds .92. So that's your at-large time for this boys' 800-meter run.
And for those of you at home wondering what the at-large time means as the 800-meter run is underway, a top 3 finishers automatically qualify for the state meet, but if the 4th and 5th place finishers somehow beat the time, that at-large time that Jason mentioned, they potentially too could qualify for the state meet as well as the top 3 finishers. But we're underway. We're about 200 meters through this boys' 800-meter run as they are coming into the second turn of this first lap, as the boys all packed together, as David French, the runner from Nevada Union that we mentioned, in the lead, as they're all kind of packed together. Moore in the lead right now as he takes over for French, but Alvarado not too far behind as well.
Yeah, they're all kind of sticking tight there. This is definitely where you're going to start seeing the leader start breaking away from the pack.
And you definitely are seeing that a bit right now, as it's David French who's leading the way. Paul Moore not too far behind him, as appears to be Alvarado still in third place, but Moore trying to catch up to French as they are down now to the final 200 meters of this boys' 800-meter run. French coming around the curve now. French, Moore, still 1-2. Abraham Alvarado still there. Looks like Blake Kraft is in third place, but it's French and Moore right now. French looking to be pulling up a bit. And a very close finish. Neck and neck were David French and Paul Moore. We'll have to go to the tail of the tape to see who came out on top. Paul Moore coming out on top, just edging out David French, Jason, by 2/100ths of a second.
Yeah, David French had that one pretty much the whole time there, and Paul Moore just stuck in there and ended up pulling it away on that last about 25 meters. He pretty much just turned on the jets, put in whatever he had left, and went ahead and took that one. That was a very nice run by Paul Moore.
So Paul Moore wins the boys' 800-meter run with a time of 1:53.98. David French finishing neck and neck just out of that top finish spot with a time of 1:54.00. And finishing third was Blake Croft out of Davis with a time of 1:55.00 out of hip number 6. But it's Paul Moore who edged out David French, who pulled up at the end and just got eked out by the senior out of Davis, Paul Moore, the winner of the boys' 800-meter run. Welcome back to the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters meet as we're getting ready for the final of the girls 300-meter hurdles. Let's get you the lane assignments. In lane 1, it's Mallory Patino out of Turlock. In lane 2, it is Hannah Davis out of Vacaville. Lane 3, it's Patriana Perry, the winner of the 100-meter hurdles in lane 3 out of Vacaville. In lane 4, it's Michaela Webb out of Valley. Lane 5, Daria Cook, also out of Vacaville. She finished second in the 100-meter hurdles. Lane 6, it is Sierra Levy out of Monterey Trail. In lane 7, Amanda Snabel and out of St. Francis. And in lane 8, it is Melissa Mahoney, the senior, out of Woodland.
Couple things to look out for. We've got Daria Cook, who finished last year 4th in the state meet, and Patriana Perry, who finished 5th in the state meet. Perry coming in ranked 4th in the state, as Cook is ranked 10th in the state. So a couple of girls out of Vacaville yet again to look out for.
And, of course, my mistake as I twisted my words, got that one wrong. It was actually Cook that won the 100-meter hurdles and Perry that finished second. Last year, interesting note, 4 of the 9 competitors in the state final came out of the Monticello Empire League as they are off. Fair start underway for this girls' 300-meter hurdles. Looks like Cook is out in front. Perry in lane 3 not too far behind as they come around the turn, as they not too far away from the straightaway, getting past about 200 meters worth of hurdles, as it is Perry by far and away in first place. Cook not too far behind. Perry, who is out in front, going to get ready to go over the last hurdle, and it is Patriana Perry in lane 3 that will win the girls 300-meter hurdle, and doing it in a pretty sizable fashion, as she was able to separate herself from the rest of the field. Patriana Perry winning this one with a time of 42.54. Daria Cook, her teammate from Vacaville High School, finishing with a time of 43.58. And it was finishing in third, Michaela Webb, the young lady out of Valley High School in Sacramento, finishing with a time of 43.67. But Patriana Perry found herself finishing 5th in the state meet last year, 1 spot behind her teammate Daria Cook, who finished 4th. This year she finishes on top of the girls' 300-meter hurdles at the Masters and will look to improve upon her 5th place finish in last year's final, as she will advance the winner of the Masters meet on to the state final. Welcome back to Elk Grove and this CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters Final. We're getting ready for the boys 300-meter hurdle final, as it's worth noting while we have just a bit of downtime that the pole vault bar, as we found out here in the press box, has been raised to 15 feet. So a bunch of action going on over there in the pole vault area to the north part of the field area around this track here at Elk Grove High School. Let's get you the lane assignments for the final of this boys 300-meter hurdle. Of course, the hurdles in the 300 meters boys is at 36 inches as compared to the 30 with the girls. In lane 1, it's Alonzo Easter out of Lincoln of Stockton. Lane 2, Austin Carter out of Folsom. He's ranked 5th in the Sac-Joaquin section. In lane 3, the number 1 ranked runner in this event in the section, Jacob Sipes out of Oak Ridge. He's ranked 5th in the state. Andre Lindsay is in lane 4 out of Stagg. Dallas Huford out of Atwater's in lane 5. James Corbett out of Del Oro's in lane 6. Victor Montanez out of Vintage is in lane 7. And rounding out the runners in lane 8 is Matt Johnson out of El Dorado.
So again, we've got lane 3, Jacob Sipes, ranked 5th in the state out of Oak Ridge. And he's also your Division I champion. And then we have Dallas Hoover tied for 7th in the state, the senior out of Atwater. But the person who posted the quickest preliminary time at a 38.85 is Andre Lindsay, who was the guy who posted your record-breaking time in the 100-meter hurdles earlier this evening.
Yeah, Andre Lindsay ranked 18th in the state. And as Jason mentioned, giving that impressive time earlier in the 110-meter high hurdles at a 13.96, just 2/100th of a second off of that record-breaking time at this meet set some 30 years ago by Lonzel Hill.
Yeah, definitely. We were talking to a couple people up here, and they would have bet us money that he wouldn't have came close to that record, and yet he was only 2/100ths of a second away from beating that mark.
So it's Easter, Carter, Sipes, Lindsay, Huford, Corbett, Montanez, and Johnson as they are away. Fair start. And over the first hurdle, as it looks like Sipes is your early leader in lane 3 as he's coming around. In the third hurdle, we're about 150 meters through this 300-meter hurdle as Sipes still coming on strong as Huford looks like he might have hit a hurdle. Corbett is coming on strong, but it looks like it's Dallas Huford who is coming on strong as he hits the final hurdle, but it was a bit of a surprise there as Dallas Huford from Atwater in lane 5 comes out finishing on top of this 300-meter hurdle, Jason.
Yeah, definitely a solid run by Huford coming out of Atwater. And he was coming in tied 7th for the state. And he's going to go ahead and take this one with a very nice run.
So 38.26 is the winning time for Dallas Huford, the senior out of Atwater. Finishing second is Andre Lindsay out of Stagg and Stockton with a time of 38.69. And Jacob Sipes, the the favorite in this event and the number 1 ranked runner in the section, as well as the 5th ranked runner in the state, finished in third with a time of 38.79. James Corbett, not too far behind out of Del Oro, finishing 4th with a time of 38.86. But it's Dallas Huford coming out on top, a bit of a surprise, as he will lead the way along with Andre Lindsay and Jacob Sipes towards the state meet, winning this 300-meter hurdle here at the Sac-Joaquin Section Masters. Welcome back to Elk Grove as the sun is starting to set. The lights are coming on as dusk is approaching, and we are getting ready for our 15th event of the afternoon, now evening, here from the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters Finals here at Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium on the campus of Elk Grove High School. It will be the final of the girls' 200-meter dash as they are getting set and warmed up on the far side of the stadium. Of course, the southeast portion of the track for this 200-meter final. Let's get you the lane assignments in lane 1. Chantel Williams, the sophomore out of St. Mary's. In lane 2, it is Lizelle Shearhall out of Rockland. In lane 3, it's Chinyere DK out of Franklin of Elk Grove. In lane 4, the favorite in this 200-meter dash, Nia Dorner out of Cordova High School. In lane 5, Matsumi McGee out of Casumnes Oaks. Lane 6, it's Daisha Joe Smith, the senior out of Florin. In lane 7, it's Carly Buchanan out of Lodi. And in lane 8, it is Michaela Pino, the senior out of Kennedy.
So coming into this one in lane 4, Nia Dorner out of Cordova is coming in 5th, or ranked 5th in the state. So she's definitely the name to look out for. She's also coming in with the fastest preliminary time at 23.98.
So you have Dorner, the winner of the 400-meter dash, and not too far behind Dorner, of course, in lane 4. In lane 6, Deja Joe Smith, the winner of the 100-meter dash, both of which looking to come out on top here in somewhere in the middle in this 200-meter dash. So it is Williams, Shearhall, DK, Dorner, McGee, Joe Smith, Buchanan, and Pino as we give you the lane assignments 1 through 8 in this girls' 200-meter dash final.
So the at-large time to look out for is going to be 24.50, and that is the time that all girls are looking to qualify for the state finals. A couple of records. Your Masters record is going to be a 23.73 by Jennifer Nash in 2004, and in the same year she set the section record at 23.73 as well.
As they're off, Dorner is around the curve and into the final 100 meters. Dorner is blowing everybody away as she's down the tracks, pumping the legs as the final 50 meters approach, and it's Dorner who is just blowing everybody away on this one. We'll get the official time momentarily, but Nia Dorner out of Cordova doing exactly what we thought she would do, which was come out on top in the 400 and do the same in the 200 as well.
Yeah, that was one heck of a run by Nia Dorner, as she was a few lengths ahead of all the other competitors in that one.
So 24.36 is the winning time posted by Nia Dorner, the senior out of Cordova High School. Deja Joe Smith, the winner of the 100-meter dash for the girls, comes in second with a time of 25.22. And in third place, Chinyere DK out of Franklin of Elk Grove. Time is 25.29. Just out of the place, the medal stand, so to speak, is the fourth place finisher, Matsumi McGee out of Casumnes Oaks in Elk Grove. She finished with a time of 25.32. But Nia Dorner out of Cordova High, blowing away everybody in the field in the 400 earlier and repeating the process again in the 200 today as she wins the girls' 200-meter dash final. Thank you for joining us on PlayOnSports.com as we bring you our continuing coverage of the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters Final from Elk Grove High School and the Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium here on campus. We're getting ready for the second half of the 200-meter dashes, the boys' 200-meter final. Let's get you the lane assignments, starting out with lane 1 out of Merrill West High School. The senior is Eddie Kay in lane 1. Matthew Moreno in lane 2 out of Buhack Colony. In lane 3, it's Javante Norman, the sophomore out of St. Mary's. In lane 4, it's Austin Mitch out of Jesuit. In lane 5, the defending champion out of Antelope, Robert Ellis. John McDonald is in lane 6 out of Weston Ranch. And in lane 7, we have Brandon Beck out of Vintage. And rounding out the runners in lane 8 is Tyler Brendel, the sophomore out of Granite Bay.
So a couple of names to look out for is going to be lane 4, Austin Mitch, who's coming in ranked 8th in the state. And another name and lane to look out for is Robert Ellis. He's in the 5th lane, and he is your defending champion for the boys' 200-meter dash. Your at-large time is going to be 21.63.
And they're off as Mitch and Ellis are out in front. Ellis looks like he's pulling away. Ellis and Mitch, 4 and 5. That's the middle of the track. Ellis and Mitch neck and neck in lanes 4 and 5. It's Ellis who's pulling in front of Mitch. We can see if he holds him off, and it is Robert Ellis with the fist pump in the air in the end. The defending champion at this Masters meet holds on again to win for the second year in a row. He finishes with a lifetime best time of 21.32 to win the 200-meter dash here at the Sac-Joaquin Section Masters. Incredible.
Yeah, that was one heck of a run by Robert Ellis, your defending champion, your senior out of Antelope. He posted a time of 21.32. So that was, again, one heck of a run.
Austin Mitch finished in second out of Jesuit with a time of 21.48. In third was John McDonald out of Weston Ranch. He finished with a 21.77, and finishing just outside in fourth, Javante Norman of St. Mary's at 22.21. But it's Robert Ellis who was neck and neck with Austin Mitch and was able to pull away the last 50 meters to win the final of the boys' 200-meter hurdle and defend his crown here at the Sac-Joaquin Section Masters. back here on PlayOnSports.com and our continuing coverage of the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters Finals. We're getting ready for the girls' 3,200-meter run, as I am Jared Hicks alongside Jason Patterson. We'd like to thank you for tuning in to our coverage here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Of course, alongside with our producer and on-site engineer, Nathan Schimmel, and camera operator upstairs, giving you all the visuals for this Masters meet, Emmanuel Chen. But we're getting ready for the girls' 3,200-meter run. Let's get you the runners. We'll give you the first 10, and then I'll pass along the last 14 to my partner, Jason. But the first 10, Lauren Larocco out of St. Francis is hip number 1. Mackenzie Mills, hip 2 out of Vintage. Fiona O'Keefe will be wearing hip 3 as we are underway here in this 3,200-meter run. She's out of Davis. Miranda Myers is wearing hip 4 out of St. Francis. Carly Garcia, 5 out of Oakmont. Rachel Peterson, 6 out of Oak Ridge. Madison Rawson is wearing hip 7 out of St. Francis. Claire Carroll out of Vista del Lago is wearing hip 8. Sarah Anderson, the freshman out of Folsom, wearing hip 9. And Jenica Dodge wearing hip 10, as we are about 150, 170 meters or so through this 3,200-meter run.
Wearing hip 11 is going to be Madeline Ankalai. Forgive the pronunciation there. She's the senior out of Vista del Lago. Wearing hip 12 is going to be Megan Gentis, the senior out of Del Oro. 13 is Lauren Mason, the freshman out of Wood Creek. 14 is going to be Emmy Prim, the junior out of Franklin out of Elk Grove. 15 is going to be Sophie Meads, the junior out of Davis. 16, Teresa Zortman, the freshman out of Wood Creek. Go ahead and give us the update.
As it's Carly Garcia, the third-ranked runner in the section out of Oak Ridge. Looked like she was in front of the pack as they came to the conclusion of the first lap. And Madeline Onkley, I know that's a tough one to say for both of us, she's wearing hip 11 out of Vista del Lago.
To continue on to the rest of the girls participating, wearing hip 17 is Makule Porter, the senior out of Rio Americano. Wearing hip 18, Megan Hall, the senior out of Whitney. Hip 19, Michaela Flores, the junior out of Riverbank. Wearing hip 20, Eleanor Waters, the freshman out of Ripon. Wearing hip 21, Haley Adele, the freshman out of Kennedy. Wearing hip 22, Haiti Grote, the freshman out of Whitney. Wearing hip 23, Michaela Reynolds, the junior out of Vista del Lago. And wrapping it up, wearing hip number 24, Sedona McNerney, the freshman out of Bella Vista.
So we are almost 2 laps through this 3,200-meter run. For those of you wondering at home, as still the lead pack starting to separating itself a little bit, as we see Garcia still leading as well as Onkley. You also see Fiona O'Keefe in that lead group as they are starting to separate themselves 2 laps through. But this 3,200-meter run, 8 laps around the track, it'll take close to about 9 minutes, 52, 53 seconds for the top finishers to complete this. Most likely closer to 10 minutes or 10 and a half minutes for everybody to complete this if they're not on section record pace, which is the time I told you, 9:52.1 or 0.51, set in 2008 by Lorianne Chitalat.
Yeah, looking at all the seed times, it looks like our fastest time is going to be a time of 10 minutes 53 seconds. So again, looking at about 10 and a half minutes to complete this race. Your at-large time is 10 minutes 39 seconds, 0.88. So that's the time that all these girls are searching for to go ahead and advance on to the state finals and have a chance to win their girls 3,200 meter at the state level.
So Carly Garcia still in that lead group, leading the way, setting the pace along with Madeline Onkley. who is slightly edging closer and closer to her, but those are your two that are leading the front of that lead group, along with Fiona O'Keefe out of Davis, who's not too far behind. She's in the blue with the white trim. If you can see in that lead group, there's about 6 runners there, but it is Carly Garcia and Madeline Anclay that are still leading the race as we are on the 3rd lap of this, the 3,200 meter girls run here at the Sac-Joaquin Section Masters.
Yeah, another name to look out for is Claire Carroll, who's the junior out of Vista Del Lago. She's in that leading pack as well. So that's just 4 of the 6 girls in the leading pack. As they come back around here again, I'll get you the other 2. But again, in your leading pack, we have Fiona O'Keefe, Garcia, and Ankiel, and also Carroll.
So you had Claire Carroll, of course, he mentioned, out of Vista Del Lago, the number 1 runner in the section who's in that lead pack. You see Anclay out of Vista Del Lago as well, who's edged in front of Carly Garcia. She's pulling away a little bit.
So the other 2 girls in that pack is going to be Lauren LaRocco out of St. Francis and Mackenzie Mills out of Vintage. So those are your top 6 girls in this lead pack as they're making their way around, and we're about the halfway point at about 5.5 minutes.
So we are through almost working on the 4th lap now, as everybody has completed their 4th lap now. We're on to lap 5 of this 3,200 meter run, as the leader of the pack, Madeline Anclay, is about... Madeline Anclay is not too far away from completing about 9 or 1,000 meters of this run. So
yeah, she's definitely starting to distance herself from that lead pack, as there were 6 girls that were pretty much sticking together for the first four laps. But coming towards the end of this 5th one, it is Kelly who is starting to, like I said, distance herself from the rest of the pack.
And I said about 9 or 1,000. I should have combined it, about 1,900, as she's coming close to finishing her fifth lap. 3 laps to go here as Kelly out of Vista Del Lago is quicker than everybody else, separating herself from the rest of the lead runners, clearly in first place with about 2 laps and about 3/4 of a third one to go before the end of this 3,200 meter run.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here today? Tell your school to sign up for the Play on Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. Also, don't forget to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we will wrap up all the exciting action that we have seen here tonight. That's coming up following all this live action on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So Madeline Anclay, the senior out of Vista Del Lago, wearing hip 11, leading everybody as she's coming to the conclusion of her 6th lap. We've got about 2 to go in this 3,200 meter run. Not too far behind is Claire Carroll, and Carly Garcia still striding as she got off to that fast start and set the pace for everybody. She's in 3rd, but it's Kelly who is clearly in front of everybody and leaving no space, leaving no room for anyone to catch.
Yeah, it's definitely Vista Del Lago starting to run away with this one, as Kelly has just distanced herself massively from the pack, and the person in 2nd place is her teammate, Claire Carroll. So it's all Vista Del Lago 1 and 2 right here with a nice lead on the rest of the group.
Of course, Vista Del Lago opened just a few years ago out in Folsom, the 2nd high school in Folsom, obviously, with Folsom High School being the original and only high school in that area for the longest time, part of that Folsom-Cordova Unified School District. But it's Kelly and Carroll 1 and 2, and Kelly really distancing herself from her teammate as Carroll's trying to make a push, and Kelly has about 500 meters to go before she concludes her 3,200 meter run, as she not too far from the finish line. You'll hear that bell to let her know there's only one lap left. As you hear it, and she's off. 1 lap to go out of this 8 lap 3,200 meter run.
Yeah, 8 laps is no joke, and she has definitely got a nice pace going. She looked like she was ready to go as she came around this end of the track. She's going to have no problem taking this one, unless barring some miraculous something or other. She is definitely going to take this one, as she is about roughly 30 yards ahead of the next girl, judging by our beautiful football field here at the Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium. But, yeah, she's about half a football field ahead of everybody. And we're coming around here on the last turn.
As Kelly is coming down the turn and 100 meters to go before she will win this 3,200 meter girls run here at the Sac-Joaquin Section Masters, as it's Madeline and Kelly, the senior out of Vista del Lago and Folsom, the winner of the girls 3,200 meter run. Claire Carroll, her teammate, will finish second, and in third, Fiona O'Keefe, the young freshman out of Davis, will round out the top three. Carly Garcia just outside of the top three. She finishes fourth, but it's...
Frank, is that the right number? It's not hip number 1. You win. What? Hold on. What was her? Claire Carroll, hip number 8. You got it. Claire Carroll, right top. Number 1 was, we're all certain, was number 8. You got it right now. You got it right now. It's 11, right? Yes.
So we'll bring you the times momentarily as the rest of the runners in this 3,200 meter run continue to file towards the finish line and complete their race today. But it's hip number 11, Madeline and Kelly out of Vista del Lago, finishing first with a time of 10:28.21. Claire Carroll finished in second, her teammate, with a time of 10:35.45. And finishing third, Fiona O'Keefe out of Davis, the freshman, finishing with a time of 10:40.17. But it's Madeline and Kelly pulling away around the fourth lap of this 3,200 meter run and not relinquishing the lead after that. She wins and will head to the CIF state final as the winner of the Sac-Joaquin Section Masters at the girls 3,200 meter run. Well, they're not. Back here in Elk Grove, California, we're at Elk Grove High School on the track at the Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium on the campus of Elk Grove High for the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters Finals. We're getting ready for the boys' 3,200-meter run here as we are through 17 events, getting ready for this 18th, and it is about to get underway. Like I said, the boys' 3,200-meter run, 8 laps around the track for the boys should take us somewhere between 8 minutes 50 seconds, maybe 9 minutes or so for our top finishers to be completed. We're actually closer to 9.5 minutes, I should say, for this group. But the Masters record and the section record are both around 8.5 minutes and 8 minutes and 45 seconds. As we're off, we'll run down the list of the competitors. It's Hip 1 is Paul Zeiss out of Granite Bay. Hip 2, Cooper Gill out of Lincoln of Stockton. Hip 3, George Mayo out of Rockland. Hip 4 is Ryan Hodgins out of Whitney. Hip 5 is Nathan Wellington out of Whitney as well. He's a junior, as we're about 200 meters through this meet. In Hip 6, it is Chris Good out of Jesuit. Hip 7 is Sean Yeagerson out of Del Campo. Hip 8 is Drew Childs out of Bella Vista. Hip 9 is Edward Chance out of Del Campo. And at Hip 10, it's Swarnjit Boyle, the 7th ranked runner in the section out of River Valley. They're still bunched up through the first 100 meters, not too much separation as the first 400 meters as we have 7 laps to go. Alongside Jason Patterson, I'm Jared Hicks. Of course, Nathan Schimmel on site with us, our on-site engineer and producer. And a big shout-out upstairs to the man coming to you with all the visuals, our camera operator extraordinaire, Emmanuel Chen.
So the 3 names that I seen at the top of the list were Hip 16, Jasper Luca, 15, Philip Cruz, and then I also seen number 3, George Meow. So those were the top 3 that I seen on their first way around. George Mao. And
Mao, of course, the number 2 ranked runner in the section this season. Mao, the junior out of Rockland, as they're coming around 700 meters through this 3,200-meter run, as is Philip Cruz out of Lodi, the junior, far and away trying to pull away from the pack early and set the pace. Not too far behind is George Mao, as Jason just mentioned, out of Rockland, who's leading the rest of the pack in second place as they're through 2 laps.
To finish off, listing off your hip assignments, wearing hip 11 is going to be Patrick Yeagerson out of Del Campo. Number 12 is going to be Toby Qualls out of Placer. Wearing hip 13 is going to be Abdul Hamid out of Sheldon. 14 is going to be Stephen Grohl out of Sonora. 15 is going to be Philip Cruz out of Lodi. 16 is Jasper Laka out of Davis. 17 is Xavier Goldman out of Sheldon. 18 is Luis Romo out of Wood Creek. 19 is Tyler Sickler out of Wood. 20 is going to be Brian Song out of Davis. 21, Trevor Stevens out of Del Oro. 22, Ryan Salicido out of Pacheco. 23, Isaac Morales out of Livingston. 24, Zach Yeager out of Vista Del Lago. And 25, Zach Moret out of Houston. So that's going to be your 25 competitors in your boys' 3,200-meter run.
Philip Cruz still in first place for the moment, but Chris Good out of Jesuit looks to have caught him as we are through 3 laps here in this 3,200-meter run, as the rest of the pack looks like it's caught up to Cruz, who got out to that torrid pace on that second lap, and the rest of the pack catching up to him now as we're through about 3 laps and a quarter of this 3,200-meter run. Of course, the record holder for both this Masters meet and the section is German Hernandez. He set the record in 2008 with a time of 8 minutes 45 seconds and 0.08 of a second in 2008 for the meet record, and set the section record with a time of 8:34.23. Of course, Fernandez also holds the national record as well. So that's a pretty impressive mark for anybody to meet, as Good is in the lead as we are halfway through 1,600 meters done in this 3,200-meter run.
If you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight, tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. Also, Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So a lead group has started to separate itself as we are through a little bit more than 4.5 laps of this 3,200-meter run. Here from Elk Grove, we're at the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters final, as it appears to be Toby Qualls that is leading the pack right now. George Mao not too far behind out of Rockland, but Qualls has taken the lead as we are through 5 laps here in the 3,200-meter run. Of course, this event will take close to about 9 minutes and 20 seconds, maybe 9.5 minutes, for the good majority of the runners to complete. And as of right now, Toby Qualls, of course, leading the way as we are almost through this over halfway through this event, as Qualls and Mao were leading the way as they come down the turn into the straightaway and almost completing this current lap that they're on. So Edward Chance from Del Campo in the lead now, as George Mao and Sean Yeagerson in the top 3 right now, as they are through 6 laps, only 2 to go. 7 minutes and 11 seconds have elapsed in this 3,200-meter run here at Elk Grove High School in this Masters meet.
Yeah, it's definitely getting interesting, as we've had a few lead changes already in this 3,200-meter run. A couple guys got out quick. They got caught by the pack, and now they're floating back in there. A couple of the guys that are already leading, they're probably in like 7th or 8th spot right now.
Well, it's always interesting to see the strategy that the different runners use as well, too, Jason. Seeing, do you get off to the quick start? Do you hold your energy back? And if you do, does that burn you in the end if you get too far back in the pack?
Yeah, I definitely, if I'm quick enough to run with any of these kids, I'd try to 3 to 5th in that range, try to just stay with the leading pack and turn it on these last two. But right now we've got leading George Mao, who's finally caught back up with Jagerson in second.
As Mao, the bell has rung for the final lap. 8:15 elapsed, as there's a little less than 400 meters to go in this boys 3,200 meter run. George Mao out of Rockland, the 11th grader, who is second this season in the section, out to the lead. George Mao in front, but not too far behind him.
It's looking like they're starting to close it on him.
Yeah, it looks like Sean Jagerson starting to close on Mao a little bit. Did he go out a little bit too early, Jason?
Yeah, he might have definitely exerted all his energy early, and it looks like Jagerson is going to exert himself nicely coming up to this last little stretch. It is going to come all the way down to this. This could end up a photo finish as they are neck to neck coming on that last 100 meters.
So Jagerson coming down the stretch in his lime green shoes, floating past George Mao of Rockland. Can he hold off the last 20 meters? George Mao cannot, and Sean Jagerson will win this 3,200 meter boys run, taking out George Mao at the end.
Yeah, that was one heck of a run by Jagerson as he kept himself right in that leading pack, like I said, and just decided right at the last second to finally take it, and that's going to be a win for Sean Jagerson, the senior out of Del Campo.
Jagerson this season 17th in the state, so by no means is this an upset, but interesting by Jagerson as he was able to pull it out over Mao, who led for the majority of those last laps, and get the victory. The times for the winning Sean Jagerson out of Del Campo, a 9:18.36. George Mao finished in second with a 9:19.66. Edward Chance, Jagerson's teammate from Del Campo, the fellow Cougar, finished with a time of 9:21.92, and finishing in fourth place just outside was Abdul Hamid from Sheldon with a time of 9:25.84. But it is Sean Jagerson who was able to come out on top and finish the last 200 meters strong, taking the lead from George Mao of Rockland and winning this boys 3,200 meter run here at the Sac-Joaquin Section Masters, here broadcast to you on PlayOnSports.com. we're winding down and coming to the conclusion of this 2013 CIF Sac-Joaquin Sections Masters Finals meet here in Elk Grove, California, as we are down to our 19th track event out of the 20 we will cover tonight for you on PlayOnSports.com. It's the girls 4x400 meter relay, as we are getting ready to come to the conclusion of this meet, as the girls and boys will both have their 4x400 meter relay to close out the Masters meet. But let's get you the lane assignments for the girls 4x400 meter relay final. In lane 1, it is the team from Woodland High School. In lane 2, the home team, so to speak, out of Elk Grove High. In lane 3, it's St. Francis. Lane 4, Vacaville out of the Monticello Empire League. In lane 5, it's Rockland out of the Sierra Foothill League. In lane 6, Davis. In lane 7, St. Mary's out of Stockton. And in lane 8, it is Del Oro out of Loomis.
Definitely going to be an interesting relay here. Posting the fastest preliminary time is going to be the team out of Vacaville High School with a time of 3 minutes 57 seconds, .36. So they're the team to look for in lane 4, posting the fastest preliminary time.
And, of course, on that team, obviously, we won't know until they're on the track and have already had everybody run. But on the team, you had their two studs today, Patriana Perry and Daria Cook, who are out there and both potentially could be participating. We won't know until they're on the track, but they're definitely on the team, and they've had a strong showing today as well, Jason.
Yeah, most definitely. As we are off here, your record times to look out for: Masters record 3 minutes 46 seconds, .68, set in 2004 by West, and your section at 3 minutes 41 seconds, .59, set in 2006 by Fairfield High School.
So your lane assignments again for those of you watching at home, 1 through 8, it's Woodland, Elk Grove, St. Francis, Vacaville, Rockland, Davis, St. Mary's, Del Oro, as they are down the back stretch almost through 300 meters of this 4x400 meter relay here from Elk Grove. In lane 5, it looks like Rockland in second place and St. Mary's in first, as their first legs are coming to the first exchange of this 4x400 meter relay, as it looks like the handoffs clean for the most part. Away they go. In the lead right now is Elk Grove in lane 2, as they are down the first turn of the second lap of this girls 4x400 meter relay, as it looks like in lane 3, St. Francis catching up to Elk Grove, as well as the, can't quite tell if that's a team from Woodland or not that caught up to them, but Elk Grove, it is the team in Woodland as well. St. Francis still in the lead. It was Vacaville, that caught up to him. So it's Vacaville and St. Mary's trying to catch up to the team out of Elk Grove at the moment. Away they go. We're on the third leg. Almost 2 minutes have elapsed in this girls 4x400 meter relay final here at the Masters meet. So St. Francis, I've been saying Elk Grove. The colors threw me off a little bit, but it's been St. Francis in the lead the entire time out of lane 3. So St. Francis in the lead right now. Vacaville and St. Mary's are 2 and 3 at the moment, as they are neck and neck trying to catch up to St. Francis, as we are through about 1,100 meters of this 4x400 meter relay. St. Francis coming down the straightaway and the home stretch for the third lap, as we will get ready for the final exchange, the exchange to the anchor legs, as St. Francis in the lead right now. The baton passed, and away St. Francis's anchor leg goes. About 2:57 to go have elapsed in this this 4x400 meter relay final for the girls.
Yeah, St. Francis has just got one heck of a lead out there, and it's been Vacaville and St. Mary's fighting it off back and forth for second place right now.
Yeah, St. Mary's and Vacaville neck and neck literally as they come down the back turn for the final 200 meters of this race. But St. Francis, he's coming about 120 meters to go in this, the girls 4x400 meter relay. The crowd on their feet showing their appreciation. About 50 meters to go now before the finish line is crossed. St. Francis coming to the end, and it will be St. Francis High School that wins the girls 4x400 meter relay. St. Mary's, and you couldn't tell if that was Vacaville or Rockland that will come in third, but there was a trip at the end. We'll go to the time to figure out who came in third place, but it was St. Francis with a time of 3:50.47 that won the 4x400 meter girls relay. In second was St. Mary's with a time of 3:52.51, and in third, Rockland edges out Vacaville at the end on that tumble and that leap towards the line with a time of 3:52.95. For those of you at home wondering, it was Vacaville that came in fourth, 1/100th of a second out of third place with a time of 3:52.96. Wow.
Wow, indeed. That's unfortunate for Vacaville as they missed the at-large time and missed the number 3 spot by 1/100th of a second.
Second was St. Mary's, but St. Francis, what an incredible run by the girls from St. Francis High School in Sacramento that come out with the win. It doesn't get too much better than that in terms of excitement towards the end of the race, does it, Jason?
No, most definitely. That was one heck of a race by St. Francis. Again, your winners of the girls 4x400 meter relay with a time of 3 minutes, 50 seconds, .47.
So we will take the quick break and get ready for our final track event of the night as St. Francis wins the girls 4x400 meter relay here on PlayOnSports.com. Stay tuned because when we come back, it'll be the grand finale, the boys 4x400 meter relay. So we've come to the conclusion of this 2013 CIF Sac-Joaquin section Masters final meet here from Elk Grove, California. We are on our 20th event, the boys 4x400 meter relay, as it's all about to wrap up in this grand finale here, Jason, as 19 events in the book. In the next 4 minutes, 20 will be in the book, and that'll be a wrap on this year's Masters meet.
Yeah, it's definitely been one heck of a meet out here. Lots of exciting action, but it's all coming down to this: the boys 4x400 meter relay. So let's get your lane assignments here. In lane 1, we're going to have Woodland High School. Lane 2, Sacramento High School. Lane 3, Consumnes Oaks. Lane 4 is going to be Sheldon, who's coming in ranked number 1. Lane 5 is going to be Monterey Trail, who's coming in ranked number 2. Lane 6 is going to be Atwater High School, coming in ranked 3. And lane number 7, we have Ponderosa. And lane number 8, coming in ranked 4th, we have Del Oro High School.
Those are all your rankings this season in the Sac-Joaquin section. As Jason mentioned, in lane 4, Sheldon, the number 1 ranked team in the section, or posted the best time in the section, I should say, earlier this season at the Sacramento Meet of Champions with a time of 3 minutes, 17 seconds, and 87 hundredths of a second. That is the 8th best time this season in the state for the boys, the Huskies from Sheldon High.
Yeah, that's a good time there that they have posted. So again, that's going to be your number 1 ranked in the section, Sheldon High School Huskies, who's going to be in your lane number 4.
So one more time, lanes 1 through 8, your assignments: Woodland, Sacramento, Consumnes Oaks, Sheldon, Monterey Trail, Atwater, Ponderosa, and Del Oro. They're in the blocks, and they're set. And we're off. A fair start in this first leg of the boys 4x400 meter relay, the grand finale of this Sac-Joaquin section Masters meet. Out in front, looks like Del Oro's doing well. Monterey Trail coming on strong in lane 5. As we get to the 200-meter mark and come into the turn, Monterey Trail doing a great job on that opening leg as they come around the turn. Not too far behind, Del Oro still out there in about 2nd or 3rd place. Atwater in 3rd place as it's Del Oro 2nd, Monterey Trail in 1st. As those are your 3 leaders, as Del Oro coming to a lead as they exchange. No, it'll still be Monterey Trail on the lead as they exchange. And out the gate for the second leg of this 4x400 meter relay, Monterey Trail still leads, Atwater 2nd, and Del Oro 3rd, as we're through about 550 meters of this 4x400 meter relay. 1,600 meters in total between the 4 legs.
Yeah, Atwater High School is looking to try to make up a little bit of this deficit as it's trying to catch the leader right now, as it looks like it is coming up a little bit closer. He's drifting definitely apart from Del Oro in 3rd, but still Monterey Trail coming around leading.
So Monterey Trail still in 1st, Atwater trying to catch Sheldon. They're in 2nd. Del Oro just got passed by Sheldon, who is now in 3rd place as they try to make up some ground on this second exchange, the 3rd leg, as we are minute 42 into this 4x400 meter relay. Still Monterey Trail in 1st. Atwater closing in on the boys from Monterey Trail. Sheldon trying to catch up as Del Oro was in 4th, and now they just got passed.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be an interesting 4th set of this 400-meter relay, as Atwater is trying to slowly close in on Monterey Trail. And from what it's looking like, they're getting closer and closer as they keep running.
Monterey Trail slowly but surely getting a little bit reeled in by Atwater. We'll see as we're closing in on a final few meters of this 3rd lap, getting ready to hand off to the anchor leg for their 4th and final lap, if Atwater can reel them in, or if one of these other schools like Sheldon can burst out. We're 2:35 into this 4x400 meter relay, and Sheldon is in 2nd. And they're looking to go and grab the title and reel back in their rivals from Monterey Trail.
Yeah, Atwater is slowly starting to drift. It looks like they might even fall to 4th. But it is Sheldon trying to catch Monterey Trail now.
We're at the final 200 meters. Monterey Trail and Sheldon, 1-2. Monterey Trail around the trail, so to speak, as we're into the final bit of the curve. As Sheldon's coming on strong, the crowd, now they're on their feet as Monterey Trail trying to hold off. But Sheldon coming on strong. Final 50 meters. Sheldon, Monterey Trail. Sheldon passes them. And to the line we go. The Huskies from Sheldon will win the boys 4x400 meter relay, edging out Monterey Trail in the last few meters of this event. What an incredible end to this boys 4x400 meter relay as Sheldon wins the winning time 3:19.20, edging out Monterey Trail, who finishes in second with a 3:19.63. Ponderosa finishing in third with 3 minutes, 20 seconds, and 32 hundredths of a second, and finishing just outside the money in fourth, Del Oro with a 3:20.84. But Sheldon, Jason, doing the unthinkable. It seemed like at points during that second and third lap where they came back and they reeled in Monterey Trail to get the win.
Yeah, and Monterey Trail was just out to one heck of a lead that entire, I'd say, 3 legs of that 4-leg relay. And it was just all the anchor on Sheldon, who got a good handoff from the third leg on the baton handoff, and he just took off, and he caught Monterey Trail and ended up closing in on him and passing him on the last 100-meter stretch.
So congratulations to Ponderosa and Monterey Trail for qualifying for the state final, but it is the Sheldon Huskies, the winners in comeback fashion, spectacularly, that close out this CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters meet in a spectacular finish in the boys 4x400 meter relay final. We will take the break and come back momentarily with our Play on Sports post-game show, where we will recap the events of the day, give you some of our highlights, and call it a day here from Elk Grove, as you've been listening to PlayOnSports.com's continuing coverage of the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters Final.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Welcome to the PlayOnSports.com postgame show. Back here at Elk Grove High School, we're on campus at Elk Grove Laguna Creek Community Stadium, just behind the actual high school buildings, as we have completed all 20 track events of the CIF Sac-Joaquin section Masters Finals meet here in Elk Grove for this season. And, of course, a bunch of fortunate competitors out here, boys and girls, found themselves qualifying and heading to the CIF California State meet next weekend. So congratulations to them. And alongside Jason Patterson, I'm Jared Hicks. Jason, well, I'll let you do the honors of letting everybody know just a quick recap of the winners from today's Masters meet.
All right, so to begin it off, our first event of the day was the girls 4x100 meter relay. The winner of that one was Franklin High School with a time of 47.85. The second event was the boys 4x100 meter relay. The winner of that one was Granite Bay with a time of 42.04. Moving on, we had a girls 1600 meter run. The winner of that one was Faith McCow with a time of 4 minutes 54 seconds and 48 hundredths of a second. On the boys 1600, we had the winner Trent Brendel out of Granite Bay with a time of 4 minutes 13 seconds .94. In the girls 100 meter hurdles, we had the winner Daria Cook out of Vacaville with a time of 13.83. In the boys 110 meter hurdles, we had Andre Lindsay, who came 2/100ths of a second away from setting the Masters record with a time of 13.96, and he's out of Stagg High School. The girls' 400 meter dash winner is Nia Dorner out of Cordova with a time of 54.05. The winner for the boys' 400 meter dash is going to be Bryce Houston out of Rodriguez with a time of 47.37. The winner of the girls' 100 meter dash is going to be Deja Joe Smith out of Florin with a time of 12.27. The boys' 100 meter dash winner is going to be Austin Mitch out of Jesuit with a time of 10.76. The winner of the girls' 800 meter run is going to be Faith McCow with a time of 2 minutes 13 seconds .78. Moving on to the 12th event of the day was the boys' 800 meter run. Your winner, Paul Moore out of Davis High School with a time of 1 minute 53 seconds .98. Then we have the girls' 300 meter hurdles with your winner, Patriana Perry out of Vacaville with a time of 42.54. Your boys' 300 meter hurdle winner, Dallas Hooford out of Atwater High School with a time of 38.26. Your girls' 200 meter dash winner, Nia Dorner out of Cordova with a time of 24.36. Your boys' 200 meter dash winner, Robert Ellis, the defending champ, so he defended his championship, with a time of 21.32. That was in your boys' 200 meter dash. Girls' 3,200 meter run, your winner, Madeline Ann Kelly, with a time of 10 minutes 28 seconds .21. And then your boys' 3,200 meter run was a winner, Sean Jagerson out of Del Campo with a time of 9 minutes 18 seconds and 36 hundredths of a second. And on to the last two events of the day were your girls and boys 4x400 meter relay. The girls taking it was St. Francis High School with a time of 3 minutes 50 seconds .47. And the boys taking it is the Sheldon High Huskies at a time of 3 minutes 19 seconds .20. So those are all your winners for today's 20 events that we've covered here on PlayOnSports.com.
Yeah, so again, with the recap of all the winners, it's obviously congratulations to all of the competitors today for even qualifying for the Masters, but a special congratulations to the winners as well as the second and third place finishers and the qualifiers for the at-large in a couple of the competitions for making it to the CIF state final. Quickly, Jason, any highlights for you from the day that really stood out to you here at this Masters meet?
Well, definitely a name for the girl side of it was Faith McCow, who won both 800 and 1600 meter runs. So she was able to go ahead and do that and be the first girl to do that in the last 9 years. So hats off to Faith McCow coming out of Enox High School out of Modesto area. So hats off to her. And the other name that I noticed was where was it? Andre Lindsay, who was able to post the 13.96 in the boys 110-meter hurdles. Again, only 0.02 of a second away from breaking a record set in 1983 by Lonzel Hill. So he came real close to doing that, and he set the best record, or he set the best time in the entire state of California for this season. So hats off to him as well.
I have my two highlights. I couldn't decide between the girls, so for the girls, the first highlight of mine, the 100-meter hurdles, Daria Cook just beating out her teammate Patriana Perry with a time of 13.83, setting the new meet record here at the Masters meet, out of beating out Deja Pugh out of Fairfield, who had won this event the last 3 seasons and is off in Washington now, but really dominated the hurdling events, winning first place at the Masters in 7 of the 8 times that she did, obviously both events in her 4 years at Fairfield High School. The other one being Nia Dorner, able to win the 400-meter and the 200-meter in dominating fashion out of Cordova High School, really doing it seemed like so effortlessly to be able to pull away from the pack. The other highlight for me of the night, obviously, the boys' 3,200-meter run, as Sean Yeagerson was able to edge out George Mao, and the obviously last event, the 4x400 meter, where Monterey Trail was leading seamlessly the entire day, and Sheldon somehow at the end able to reel them in slowly but surely and edge out the Mustangs to take home the top spot at this Masters meet in the 4x400 meter relay.
Yeah, indeed, that was one heck of a run again by Yeagerson, as he was able to pull that one out. And again, as you said, Sheldon, that one really came down to it. It took one last little ditch effort by the anchor from Sheldon, and he was able to pull out the top time.
So again, congratulations to all the winners here, as well as all the qualifiers and participants in the California State meet that will be coming up. Also, congratulations as well to all the competitors, both in the track events and the field events. I want to say a quick thank you to everybody in our Play on Sports crew that was able to help out putting this production on. So we will sign off here for our producer and on-site engineer, Nathan Schemmel, our camera operator, Emmanuel Chen, and for my broadcast partner, Jason Patterson. I'm Jared Hicks saying thank you for tuning in to PlayOnSports.com for our coverage of the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Masters Finals, and we wish you a good night, as we want you to stay tuned for more high school action. Coming up Monday, it'll be the baseball, Sac-Joaquin Section Baseball Finals, so be sure to tune in on your Monday, Memorial Day, right here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.